Welcome to another episode of the Sacred Profane Podcast. Hey guys, I'm super excited about this episode. Um, Something about this episode feels like a time where we're doing here, but something else about it is completely new. We don't know what to expect today for this episode of the podcast. I was just told to kind of breathe and record this episode, but I took on a lot of energy today. Um, I took on a lot of energy today, so again, I got a good energy through this one. So, I don't know what's going to come out, but let's jump in. I got some rings here. I'm going to pack these rings, and then we're gonna flow, we're gonna flow. I think that's really the main thing. The divine has simply sustained. This episode of the Sacred Profane Podcast is brought to you by the following rings. Thurisaz, Berkana, Laguz, and Peorth. Something something's restored, made new, made whole again. And, and this happening, this rebirth, this is a presence and judgment and um, it's protected. So that's really, really good energy for your words. That's something to listen. You know, as I was moving through the morning this morning, again, I moved to so many places this morning that eventually led to something that I had. At this moment where, I was kind of clear that I was supposed to be reporting content today, so, I'll do it today, after the, we've got another course that I'm working with out for you guys. So, I was just in my mind, my mind in that direction, and then spirit came through, spirit guides, and it's like, oh, good. Okay. And so I immediately began thinking about, okay, well, what are we going to talk about, and why, and what. But where I think we're going to start, we're going to jump in at a certain point here, and then we're going to see where this flows into, okay? But there's this phrase, and Spirit's been saying it a lot these days, I think it's going to be quite episodes coming up. There's this conversation being around, if people are feeling judged, they have to pay attention to the company they keep. If you're feeling judged, then perhaps you have to pay attention to the company that you keep. I'm gonna let that sit there for a moment. I'm gonna sit over here and we're gonna play this thing of frequency real conversation because that is the reality we live in. Whether it's matrix or system or construct or whatever it is that you want to call your experience in this world, regardless of what you want to call it, what it is that is a frequency there. And let's not so little about frequency and frequency modulation in school as a citizen, but of course, some people choose to become professors where they really think more about frequencies and you don't need a PhD for this podcast episode, but you do need to be 18 years old or older. Okay? You guys know how this goes. Here's that disclaimer. This conversation is for adults only, and adults who are mentally mature enough to be aware this conversation is going to illicit. Conversation is a productive conversation. It is meant to activate you in both the best and worst ways. However, your commitment should you continue to do so after this point is that you will be retiring associated with the activity experiences. I'm keeping out of the a little bit more. I'm horrible at this stuff. Here we go. If you don't know, I'm the sign up. This free download. If you scroll down at the link, the free download is $50. Go there. I'll trade you one of those two downloads for your email address. Then you get to download email lists. I don't over email. You can probably get that. I don't over email. But you do want to stay up to date with that's how you get on your email. Don't trade me your email for downloads are great for both for value and um, but yeah, that's if you just want to stay with the podcast episode, so that's okay. This is me. Not people find out about me on my website. YouTube channel. I'm kind of all over the place. But anyway, back over here to frequency wars. Frequency is a and I want to bring this really huge conversation to a relatable space because I think some of the best conversations for decades, like going for decades. It's just like that frequency war. People's eyes got to it, and I go, oh my God, one of those people, you're into that, you're into this, blah blah blah. Diet TV, David Will podcast, so and it kind of and it's like okay, sure, um, sure. What I'm talking about is actually what Diet TV or David Will podcast, all those we're in the same conversation. I'm just not gonna turn millions of dollars to the you as you're living. I'm not gonna dress it up for you and make it shiny and say you're the king, etc. You're living on a daily basis. You are being spiritually, energetically assaulted. You're being trapped. You're being enslaved, taken advantage of. Like a and that's why I'm also being lied to about everything. Now the crazy part is you know this down deep down in your soul, in your gut, you know this. You just can't see it with your physical eyes. So you literally can't put your finger on it. And B, you know what to do if you could see it, but you know, so you put up with it. That's why you put up with the shitty. That's why you put up with the shitty world. That's why you put up with kids who don't respect you. Because you already betrayed us. Every time I feel deep down in your soul that something is wrong, and you do nothing about it. You just don't. You can explore yourself. And that's what this podcast is for. That's why I would trigger warning. You can explore yourself. You can begin to look down inside of your soul and begin to reckon with how am I living this life? How am I continuing to live in such kind of difference? You can begin to question it. One of my most recent tarot readings, the reading came out, but so did the question. And I said then I could almost because I want to because I want to do it. The question is when you at some point as a spiritual practice, you get to literally unpack and explore that collectively you were held asleep, you were held captive, you were imprisoned intentionally. We got it, we deal with it. We do it. We have to do it. And that's really what I've been, the divine has been coming for because it's not just me. The divine has been coming for Tesla so hardcore, and that's why. Because the false light, it puts people asleep. There's no liberation in Christ. There's no nourishment in Christ. It's false. Everything about it is false. And it creates lukewarm people. And the divine has already said, we're going to skip and lukewarm people right out. So, you know, the, if you're feeling judged, you ought to consider the company that you keep in. Because the divine isn't here to judge you. That's not how. You're not judged by anything other than your own. We're talking about frequency war, but I want you to stick with me because you got to get how it connects. This is what people's eyes got said. They say frequency war. They're like, no, listen carefully. Every single thing you do is contributing to the frequency that you are emitting. And the frequency that you are emitting has everything to do with what you are experiencing in your reality. We live in the reality of reality, the broad sense. This world is polarized. So your frequency is truly magnetizing resonant frequency. We say birds of a feather flock together. We say you're judged by the company you keep. We say all kinds of stuff. But this is where the rubber meets the road and it really matters. Why? And this is, you guys, I'm speaking from experience, from lived experience. It's no big deal for someone to wake up, continue to hang out with people who are asleep, and then go back to sleep over. That happens so often. What's even more sinister is it's no big deal for someone to wake and to be bombarded by energy that immediately begins to convince it, that soul, that they're not awake, that the opposite of in fact, that they're having a nightmare. And then that soul is convinced to numb itself, distract itself, and in extreme cases, remove itself from reality. This is a war. And if you don't think this is a war, then I will take you back to look at your and every other soldier on the front line who has lost their life. And I will let you know that many, many more of us will lose our lives before this war is ever complete. This is a war that stretches across timeline, the galaxy. This frequency war we're in on this planet is a kind of a larger galactic war. That's one of the main conversations that we're getting you guys about the frequency war is this is a galactic challenge. This isn't something that's happening here on Earth. This is something that is happening here on Earth that impacts everything in the galaxy. Frequency. See, if there's a resonant frequency in this planet, then that is what's being emitted into the galaxy. That becomes our trademark, our signature. You want to get the implications. See, outside of this realm, everything is always reduced to frequency. You know the resonant frequency of our planet to get so low. There are other species who will not hesitate to eradicate this plant just because the frequency is too low to you follow what I'm saying? That's like American from research. This is not motherfucking EP. That's why the people work. This is why collectively as a spiritual collective we can keep the sleep for so long. Because there are forces that live this particular planet, this particular location, space, time, allocated. They want to put some pressure. You know what I mean? They have a better idea for what to do here instead of just like, you that, this is what I do. What about you? If you're feeling judged, you actually consider the company that you keep. Let's talk about ways to modulate your own frequency a little bit higher, a little bit deeper than that, a little bit past physics, a little bit something. Frequency modulation, in simple terms, it's changing the station on your radio. And frequency modulation. That's the simplest way to describe what I'm talking about. When you change the station, we shift the frequency so that you tune into experiences that you want versus experiences that you can't. Because the more you experience frequencies you want, the more frequency of happiness, satisfaction, nourishment, joy, and bliss becomes a resonant frequency. The more of us is resonant frequency, the more the earth has a resonant frequency, the more the frequency can be replicated. It's a frequency. Low frequency entities are doing as I see for learning. We every single day you wake up, it's war. And when you frequency, somebody said like over your soul, very similar. You know, the Christian church has it kind of, but not fully. You know, they say everybody wants your soul. And you gotta live this way, this way, this way to protect your soul. Feel that one. It's super close, but it doesn't. It's gonna be but it's super, super, super close. See, those things that Christians tell you you're not supposed to do, they sound like a horrible broken record. It just so happens that those things lower your vibration. Just so not that those things are scary enemies, it's that those things are the habit of lower your vibration. So one thing Christians got wrong is there's a spiritual war going on all the time. And I also understand that there's some things you can do to protect yourself in this matter. There's other things you can do to make vulnerable to it. So if we talk about frequency modulation and what you can do and what you don't want to do, please understand that some of this is going to sound Bible thumping. It's not Bible thumping. It's frequency. Christianity got some really good stuff. It's just, the mixed stuff of the bullshit. And so if you're patient with me, I will help you unpack the bullshit related good stuff. And so one of the things I'm here for, one of the things I'm really the world religions is going to experience with so many beautiful religions that have done the work to find the truth that allows them and piece it together into a universal truth. That's one of my work into universal. And that's what I love when people are saying for or against anything. And then it's like, it's not just, I'm not here for that. I'm here to liberate the person how it starts. This is how it works. I really will conversations with people around what you want versus what you do. I understand liberation is a frequency. And that frequency is intuitive with your thoughts, your beliefs, and your and to influence your beliefs and your actions. It has to be shifted. Your perspective has to shift. This is where, so this is why I'm a transformational teacher because I'm not going to tell you something that's going to change how you do anything. I don't want to change how you do something. I want to transform you see yourself in the world. That is the only sustainable way forward. One of those really pivotal transformations in perspective is for you to consider that your reality as you know it is actually a frequency war. The job you work is designed to lower your frequency and it is your paycheck in exchange. If you are not intentional, every relationship you come across in your life will lower your frequency. If you are not intentional, what you watch on the screen, the music you listen to, it's all frequency. Some of you already know that some of you understand the frequency of some of you have already done that research here. You know, women versus the difference. Some of you have done research here, listen to music, which frequency makes effective. Some of you listen to really frequency music. You know, you listen to the 5 hertz, 777 hertz. Some of you already understand frequency to think and broaden your experience of frequency really understanding this with food. Now, music will start a beautiful third population from first and the personalities will be. But, you know, here's what I want to say to you. Frequency modulation includes what's at you. Okay, so if we go out really high level, frequency modulation is everything. From what you're wearing to what you're moving to the handle. People in dress, consider the company. Frequency modulation is particular sensing with the wearing, with all of that, everything. And that can feel overwhelming. That's why it takes a shift in perspective to truly transform your experience. Because if we just sit here and talk about what it takes to show up in this to get people to help you win and the planet at this time, you say, no, it's too much. I'm overwhelmed. No, I can't do that. You're the only person who can do that. And then I only value the ability to do that. And you'll struggle. So, no, we have to go bite-sized pieces. So I want you to consider what I'm saying as an opportunity for you to shift your perspective about your life into one that is based on a holistic worldview. In other words, I want you to consider moving forward that every choice you make for yourself in your life ought to register across a holistic witness for your experience. So the choice, whatever choice you make next, is it going to benefit you physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually? And tell the truth. The goal is to choose experiences, partners, God, where all of you get benefit, where physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually you are met. That's the goal. And at first, you may feel challenged just to determine as your life is right now, what is your life based on? Are all your experiences or relationships based on physical attributes? Are they based on mental? Are they based on spiritual resonance? Is your life based on emotional bouncing? that's the first step. Your life experience is now your current perspective. If you look at it from a holistic way, what is your life? Physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. And then take a look at what are you going to take to get it to be holistic? Like, what do you need in your life for you to be taken care of physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and your intimate relationship, in your work relationship, in your relationship with, in your relationship to yourself. This is the inventory that I'm inviting you to take. One, this is the beginning of frequency modulation. See, when you can account for your experience mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, you are absolutely in charge of your own frequency. That's why you think about what I'm saying. When you can account for yourself and your experience physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, you are experiencing sovereignty and you alone are in control of your frequency. This is true success. This is true success. If you don't believe me, go study human nature for about 30, 40, 50 years. This is true success. People make a bunch of money just so they can then walk away from the rest of society and become sovereign on their own. That's why people make money. That's why they sell their souls for God because they want an opportunity to dictate their own mind, their own body, their own emotion, their own spirit. We just compared to the program that told us we can't do it. But it's not true. It's our natural birthright. We just live in a world that told us we have to be invincive servant and earn the right that we were born to. You know what I'm saying? We were born to be sovereign in all these areas, but in the current Western paradigm, you literally have to sell your soul and become financially rich to then become someone who can afford mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional freedom, which is it's backwards and that's not that's what they're riding. Why? So you'll jump on the hamster wheel after you're off the bastard that fell off the bed. You gotta think about all the really, 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 really rich people. What do they do? They don't work anymore. But that's when you hear about people traveling here and there, having spiritual experiences. And now they believe in this, and now they now they go and their money to charity, and now they're so philanthropic. Why? They earn all that money just to go find how to be sovereign physically. That's what it is. I'm telling you, you don't have to sell your soul to do that. See, wealthy people will sell their soul just to get enough money to determine, oh wait, what I'm really looking for is sovereignty, holistic sovereignty. But because they sell their soul along the way, karma dictates that by the time they get to the level they're on, oh, now they're going to open a charity to give back. They step on so many freaking backs to get to where they're oh yeah, they got to open a nonprofit. They stole food out of people's mouths for the past 20 years trying to get where they got to. call it fundraising, we glorify that. It's so bad that we glorify it as, oh, yeah, you gotta get rich, you can give back. No, that's not how that works. Once is modeling your frequency where you are right now. You become responsible for yourself, accountable for yourself, and your situation right now. You become responsible right now. That is removed in such a way that you're not able to stand on God's word. You're not breaking somebody's back to become the next thing in the world. So when you make it, guess what? That's yours. You don't have to turn around and open up a nonprofit if you don't want to. You've already taken care of people on the way. You know what I'm saying? It's this whole backwards paradigm because we let evil fucking flourish. So now everybody's convinced that the formula to be an asshole, sell your soul, make a few hundred million, open up a couple nonprofits and charities to give back to like your church thing and live happy ever after. And I'm telling you, that ain't it. How is it not it? Let's go. That ain't it because these celebrities are being not, these rich people are being not. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. There's more. Listen, at this point, all the celebrities look the same to me. They do. They do. I don't know if they have the same type of circle or what. But again, this is proof to me that that ain't it. That's not the formula. That's not the formula. That's not the formula. I ever noticed that people who figure out the formula disappear, you never see them again? Think about, so we're gonna, we talk about wealthy people, and I threw celebrities in because some celebrities are wealthy, but a lot of celebrities are wealthy. But not every wealthy person is a celebrity, and that's what we're talking about. Some people figure out the formula and they disappear. They're wealthy and you don't know who the hell they are. That's what I want for you. Why? Because if you're somewhere wealthy minding your own business, that means you're still growing. It means your wealth is still growing. If you're out here in the streets begging for attention, pouring yourself out for attention, I'm doing business for a reason. If that's your plan, if that's your success plan, if that's your MO, then there's something unsustainable about everybody. I'm just saying. But again, we have allowed ourselves to get bamboozled into seeing things a certain way, into believing that the way to do things is A, B, C, D, E, because that's what we were taught. But the reality is, it's always been W, X, Y, Z. I know how that sounds, but that's literally what it is. You were taught one thing is success. You were taught life is good, life is that. You essentially have the fact that you were born into a matrix that is an intense frequency war. So all that matters is at any given time is your frequency. You can work with another person. If your frequency is high enough, you will never shift or accept. And until you accept that you're at war and it's your frequency war, you're not going to shift or accept. As long as you're trying to change your circumstances, you're never going to shift or accept. As long as you're allowing someone to tell you that it's another bitch fault, another person's fault, the blame is somewhere other than you, you're never going to shift your experience. The only way that you're ever going to shift your experience of your life, of yourself, is to transform. The only way you're going to transform is to a shift in your context, in your perspective. That which has you considering things you have never considered. Okay, look, I feel like we went hard in this conversation. I'm going to close this episode of the podcast out with this consideration right here. I want you to consider practicing frequent modulation for 1 week. You can call it mindfulness. You can call it whatever you want, but it's extreme for mindfulness. So I call it frequent modulation. Now, if you're religious, you can call it practice. And if you're religious, that's fine. I'm not religious, but you can do it. You're just religious. But you gotta pick it natural. You're going to be accountable that you're going to and responsible that you're going to. I know I make things sound simple, don't I? But you gotta be responsible and accountable for the for what you watch, what you see for 7 days. You're gonna be accountable and responsible for what you hear for 7 days. You're gonna be responsible and accountable for what comes out of your mouth for 7 days. And ultimately what this is it's gonna have you become responsible and accountable for the environment that you are in, the company that you're keeping for the next 7 days. Okay. If you do this exercise properly, there's going to come a time over the next 7 days where you're going to feel isolated. You're going to feel bored. You're going to feel like nothing's going on, nothing's happening. That's when I want you to lean into your shadow work. Pull out your journal, meditate, exercise. Hell, book a session with me. Shit. But it's in those moments of I call it like the agitation and the tension of, ooh, because I'm telling you, you get so used to drama, you get so used to distractions. Then when all of that goes away, it's like crickets chirp, and then you get a little agitated. Like, why are there crickets chirping? Why is everything so loud? Why is everything so quiet? You're gonna move through all those spaces. I need you to move through those spaces. Those spaces are not optional. If you start feeling antsy and buggy and like, oh my God, I'm gonna slam something, you're doing it right. Okay? If you're not sure if you like people anymore or like yourself, you're perfect, you're spot on. You're detoxing your freaking frequency, okay? And that's what you want to do. You want to let go of any matter, because it's all energy, right? In different forms. So you're going to let go of any matter that isn't increasing your frequency. And that's what you're going to do over 7 days. Now, am I saying you're never going to watch another lame TV show or, you're never going to blah, blah, blah again? No, 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 no. I'm not saying that. You're going to do stupid shit again for sure. For sure. For sure. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, I'm asking you to experience what it's like to be sovereign, to experience what it's like to think of yourself on this level for 7 days. Because I'm telling you, you're an adult, but you out here, you don't think about what you're listening to. You don't think about who you're around. You don't think about any of that. And if I was to ask you, how to help your teenager out, you'd be like, well, who are their friends? And, they're eating a bunch of junk food and staying up late. You would know exactly how to rectify the challenges if they were somewhere else. But because it's you and you're an adult, you act like you don't understand. But you're watching low quality television. You're listening to low quality programs and music. You're around low quality people and you're eating low quality food.
Because you live in a world where the air is already poisoned, the water is already poisoned, the food is already poisoned, you don't have a choice. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This shit ain't optional no more. If you want to enjoy your life, if you want decent quality of life, you've got to get sovereign in your experience. Your pathway is holistic wellness, taking care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Okay. All right, you guys, leaving it here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Sacred Profane Podcast. If you haven't already, head over to my website, trade your email for one of those free downloads. Just scroll down to see free download, just see the gold button, click it, and pick one of those two awesome downloads and give me your email address. I'll put you on the list and you get something cool in exchange. Of course, stay tuned for the next episode of the Sacred Profane Podcast when it comes out. And in between now and then, trust your path, your process, and your purpose. Peace.